right, let's just get right into it, because this is the question that keeps so many of us up at night. You're putting in the hours, you're grinding, you're doing everything you're supposed to do, so why the heck does it feel like you're just stuck on a treadmill, going nowhere fast?
Seriously, if you've ever felt this way, you're not going crazy. It's this massive disconnect at the heart of the modern world. We're all raised on this idea that hard work is the magic key to success, but for so many of us, the math just isn't mathing anymore. So what happened? What actually broke? To figure that out, we gotta look at the two very different stories we're told about how wealth is supposed to work.
Okay, so story number one is the classic defense of the system. The idea here is that capitalism doesn't really care about how many hours you clock in or how much you sweat. Nope, it's all about rewarding risk. The person who starts the company, who puts their own money on the line, who could lose literally everything, they're the one taking the big gamble. And so, the argument goes, they deserve the big payout. The actual work? Well, from this point of view, that's the easier, safer part of the deal.
But then, you have the total opposite take. This argument says, hold on, that's a nice story, but the game is rigged. It's not about risk, it's about ownership. It's about who controls the capital. Once you own the assets, the companies, the buildings, the stocks, you basically get to collect rent from everyone else. The rich get richer not because they're working harder, but because they own the stuff we all need to live.
So which one is it? Is it about risk or is it rigged? Well, to really get it, we need to understand that the fundamental rules of work and money have been completely rewritten. The promise our parents and grandparents lived by, it just feels like ancient history now.
For hundreds of years, the philosophy was pretty straightforward. Thinkers like John Locke and Adam Smith basically said that your effort is what creates value in the world. You know, you mix your labor with something and boom, it's worth more. In the industrial age, this was a super clear deal. You work more hours on the factory line, the factory makes more stuff, and you get paid more. Simple. A nice, clean, linear relationship. But that direct link, that one-to-one deal, it's gone. It's broken. The idea that just putting in more effort automatically means you're going to earn a bigger reward is for most people a total myth today. And look, this isn't just a feeling. We've got the cold, hard data to prove it. Now check this out. This chart is basically the smoking gun. It shows the exact moment the system went off the rails. It's called the Great Decoupling. And you can see that since the late 70s, workers had become insanely more productive. I mean, thanks to technology, we're creating way more value per hour. But just look at that gap. While productivity went to the moon, the actual paycheck for the average person just flatlined. All that extra money being made wasn't going to the people doing the work. It was being captured by someone else.
So, if just working your tail off isn't what gets rewarded anymore, what does? Well, the new name of the game, the new boss in town, is something called leverage.
Leverage is just a fancy word for a force multiplier. It's a tool that takes your effort and your judgment and just amplifies them like crazy. It's the thing that finally lets you break the link between your time and your money. It's how you stop trading hours for dollars.
And according to thinkers like the investor Naval Ravikant, there are four big types of leverage. You've got labor and capital. Those are the old school ones, having people work for you or having a bunch of money to invest. Super powerful for sure, but they come with a major catch.
And this slide, right here, explains the single biggest shift of our lifetime. Labor and capital are permissioned. You need someone's permission to use them. You need a boss to promote you so you can manage people, or you need a bank to approve you for a loan. But code and media, they are permissionless. You don't have to ask anyone for permission to write a piece of software, start a YouTube channel, or build a following online. All you need is a computer. This is the game changer.
Just think about how insane that is. Writing code is like building an army of robots that work for you 24/7 for free, and they never complain. Creating media, a video, a podcast, an article, is like building an asset one time that can then serve millions of people forever, making you money even when you're sleeping. This is what the new rich are using.
Okay, so leverage is the tool. Got it. But a super powerful tool is totally useless if you don't have the unique skill to actually use it effectively. And that's where your secret weapon comes into play.
I mean, if anyone can start a TikTok or learn to code a basic app, how do you actually stand out from the crowd? It's not enough to just have the lever, you have to know the perfect place to put it to move the world. And that's where this idea of specific knowledge comes in. This is the stuff that can't be taught in a classroom. Because if a skill can be taught in a formal class, it can eventually be automated or outsourced to someone cheaper. Specific knowledge is that unique blend of skills you build just by following what you're genuinely curious about. Your weird hobbies, your obsessions, the stuff you nerd out. So how do you know if you have it? Well, here's the dead giveaway. It feels like play to you, but it looks like hard work to everybody else. It's that thing you do for fun that other people would have to be paid to do. It's usually highly creative or super technical, and it's almost always learned by doing it, not by reading about it in a book. This, right here, is your superpower.
So, when you take your unique, specific knowledge, your superpower, and you combine it with the explosive force of permissionless leverage like code and media, you're not just playing the old game better, you are playing an entirely different game altogether.
See, the old game was linear. You were renting out your time, 1 hour of your life in exchange for a fixed amount of cash. The new game is all about nonlinear returns. It's about ownership. You create something once, and it has the potential to generate value for you exponentially, totally disconnected from your time.
A good way to think about it is this. A traditional job is concave. Your potential upside is capped. You can get a raise, but there's a ceiling. And your downside, while it seems safe, is actually super fragile. One layoff, and your income goes straight to zero. But owning equity, a piece of a business, is convex. Your downside is limited to whatever you put in, but your upside? It's potentially unlimited. It's a setup that actually loves surprises and chaos, because that's where the opportunities are.
So this all points to a brand new playbook for building wealth in the 21st century. Step 1, seek equity. You have to own a piece of something, whether it's your own small business, shares in a company, or even just your own intellectual property. Step 2, build your specific knowledge. Double down on what feels like play to you, go all in. And step 3, apply permissionless leverage. Use code and media to blast your unique skill out to the entire world. And this quote from Naval just sums it up perfectly. Renting out your time is the path to staying afloat. Maybe, but it is not the path to real financial freedom. Ownership is. That is the fundamental mindset shift you have to make to win at this new game. At the end of the day, just working harder is a trap. It's an outdated idea from a totally different economy. The modern game of wealth isn't about outworking everybody else. It's about having better leverage. It's about earning with your mind, not with your time. So the real question you got to ask yourself isn't, am I working hard enough? It's, am I even playing the right game?